Next to the University of Missouri, the city of Columbia is probably the single most important economic driver in Boone County in the 20th century and the beginnings of the 21st. That being said, how does one measure the importance of a single individual who directed its public works and its entire city staff and administration for 45 years? Ray Beck arrived at his first job with the city in 1960, and in 1 year's time became the director of public works of a community that had a population of 36,000 and was sized at only 10.5 square miles. Ray was an individual whom, by the time he retired at age 73, had administered a city that had grown under his watch to a population of 91,000 and about 59 square miles, while working with no less than 14 different mayors and 33 different city councils. How many communities in this nation can boast of having grown from a city that had no uniform sanitation system, no modern water system, very few public parks, antiquated sewer systems, no storm drainage system, and was working from a master plan developed in 1935 to a community that was winning national awards for excellence in all of those areas? Well, that only begins to describe why Ray Beck is now a member of the Boone County Hall of Fame. Ray is the second youngest of 6 siblings from St. Elizabeth, Missouri. He married Delilah, affectionately known as Dee, in 1958, and they've been together ever since. After receiving an engineering degree, completing a tour of duty in the Army, and spending a couple of years in state government, Ray came to work in Columbia. He was with the Public Works Department for 24 years before becoming city manager in 1985.
One of the things I most admire about Ray Beck is the fact he is such a consummate family man. I don't think of Ray without immediately thinking of his wife, Dee, his partner in life. So many times Ray would be at a council meeting, a work session, and get a call, and Dee would be on the farm taking care of the kids, doing all of the other stuff. And Ray was just always so dedicated to the city, and I so admire Dee for being so dedicated to making sure he was doing above and beyond.
It's difficult to list all of Ray's accomplishments during his years with the city because it would require dozens of pages. But some of the changes that occurred in Columbia under his guidance and management include the construction of over 80 miles of city streets, dozens of miles of sewers rehabilitated, the repair, replacement, or removal of over 200 small wastewater discharge points from our streams, the creation of a flood plan management process. Ray conceived and pushed for the approval of a stormwater utility. Ray created a total transportation plan for the city. He organized and implemented the first city-owned transit system, and he oversaw the rehabilitation of the old airport into what we now know as Cosmo Park.
Ray saw to it that we remained a full-service city. He was a great believer in that, and that means that we have our electric system, we have our wastewater, our fresh water, we have our garbage collection, and so on, all the way up and down the most fundamental city services instead of being in private hands.
Both the physical and the cultural landscape of Columbia changed for the better during Ray's service to the city. Smart and forward-looking annexations enlarged the city boundaries by 6-fold. Investments in green spaces and multiple parks and trails were made, and the city now has over 3,100 acres of parkland. The Parks and Recreation Department manages and maintains 83 different parks, green spaces, and recreational facilities. Additionally, the Columbia we know today as one that is recognized nationally for its art scene didn't enjoy a municipal government that understood the importance, both culturally and economically, of having a focus on the arts. Ray and the city councils in the early 1990s changed that. The Office of Cultural Affairs was implemented in 1994 and has since supervised the city's Percent for the Arts program and provided dozens of local arts agencies with grant funding. Ray's other achievements include supervising the purchase of the Colt Rail Service to better serve Columbia's business interests, the purchase of the first 20 acres of Oakland Park, land for the Columbia Regional Airport, the Old County Fairgrounds and for the ARC recreational facilities, land for the trailhead for the MKT Trail, property for the new City Hall, the Stevens Lake Park property, and the Phillips Park property.
I'm really pleased to have been selected for this, and you like to really give credit to a lot of the other people, our volunteer councils, our volunteer people that serve on committees, I don't know how many hundred council meetings I actually attended, and council retreats, that sort of thing. But we've come together in a pretty diverse community, and there were some pretty turbulent years during the 60s and 70s in Columbia. And I had the privilege, I'm pleased, as I look back over my career and so forth. Of course, what was important to me was my faith and my family and education and career and giving back to the community.
Ray was always one of the first to work and the last to leave in the evening, and at many night meetings and that kind of thing. And so Ray really dedicated a lot of his life to the city of Columbia, and that was one of the more important things in his life. It was family and then the job.
Ray was instrumental in initiating the Regional Economic Development Corporation, known as READY, an organization that includes Boone County, the University of Missouri, and local entrepreneurial interests, and has been hugely significant in Columbia's growth since its inception. In retirement, Ray has found more time to do what he loves most, spending time with his 4 children, Michael, Janice, Denise, and Lisa, and 13 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. He also spends time farming, hunting, fishing, gardening, and volunteering for the Boone County Historical Society and Father Tolton Catholic High School.
He had a big heart. A lot of people don't really see that side of him, but he really did care about his employees, about certainly the citizens of Columbia.
Please welcome into the Boone County Hall of Fame a man who left an indelible mark on the city he served and loves, Ray Beck.